Hello and welcome to This Week in Gary History, a hastily slapped together collection of still pictures and videos from the last week. And by the last week, I mean it's going to be something that will not go into Saturday, because Saturday is when I'm going to start editing it, because I don't have enough things to do. To catch you up, since the last Vlog-A-Day, I've gone back to 5 full days at the paid gig. And of course, I've also initiated a daily news vlog with the bear puppet. So more work, less time to work on it. Yay! Cause, smart. So yeah, in addition to everything else, there's this thing, cause I record stuff. And in particular this week, we had it off, which gave me a little more time to record some stuff, a little more time to do some interesting things. We did some cycling around on a new path we found that runs up from Matheson, right by where CBS Paramount Studios is currently filming Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Under the 401, which I didn't know you could cycle under the 401, but we found a path under it. And then along the west side of the airport, all the way up to the Triple O's, which was ambitious. And by ambitious, I mean there was a point where I was going through various stages of shock. Because for some reason, and that's interesting because it was by the airport, and you could describe the bike trail as an airport route. Yeah, and then we ended the week, the second half of the week. We drove up to Kincardine, Ontario, and we spent a full day on the beach. And I brought the bear with me and shot some bits that'll be used in the upcoming week. So I will be excising those bits because it's no fair giving you a preview. But everything else that I was shot or I took a picture of, we're going to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to record an audio track, narration of it, so that hopefully I can give a little context to what we're looking at. And that's it. So here we go. Here's the first This Week in Gary History. So it starts off, as I said, with Friday night. And Friday nights, well, that's the beginning of our weekend, and that's why it's the beginning of this week. It usually starts off with us going and doing the grocery shopping, and then we come back and we bring it up, and we have our pizza and all this stuff. But this particular first one, there's this car alarm that got set off and continued to go. And in that underground garage, it was just ridiculously loud. I have toned it right down for you. So I decided to go over and record it. Gotta love this. Says, use a hand towel. There is no hand towel. We spent Saturday out visiting Audrey. This is all I got of that. She gets a little
day away program, and it's for people
I'm a fan of social media.
Partner has Alzheimer's, and it gets that Alzheimer's patient is taken for the day away.
I didn't even know who that guy was. Yabber in the corner, so nobody cares. This is a joke I sent to Patrick, and I was looking at a vlogging kit. And then we went out and we parked the car so we could go cycling. This is the beginning. That's the area where that Air France flight that landed during the thunderstorm ended up overshooting the runway. Runway being way over there, it made it all the way across and then burned. Nobody died. So yeah, we cycled all the way up for Triple O's. I didn't take any shots on the way up. We sat on the mound across from it. We had burgers! Yay! Just sat there for a bit, cooled down, try to regain our strength. That's the bikes. Really just padding out the recovery time here as much as possible. And then this is it. Sped up. This was the route back. It's Courtney Park, because the Triple O's is at Courtney Park and Dixie. Triple O's is kind of an express version of the BC chain White Spot, and
white spot burgers are just so good. So every chance we have, we head up there for it. So cycling back, we had to go all the way down Courtney Park until we got to Eastern Cargo, I believe it was. And the path goes right along this. So we are rapidly closing in on this bike trail that goes all the way along the western side of Toronto Pearson Airport. So first we had to cycle from Courtney Park down to Britannia East. That's what we're coming up on here. You were either going uphill or downhill, but we thought on the way back it would be mostly downhill, and yet, as you can see, not necessarily the case. And I'd gone 3 weeks of not cycling, so I was really not as up for this as I thought I was. Wasn't a bad day, though. Sunny, kind of coolish, mid-20s. Look, more uphill. Sound like a panting dog at high speed. And again, we're coming up on the area where that Air France flight overshot the runway. Okay, again, uphill. It seemed uphill all the way there. It turned out to be uphill all the way back. There's a break here because I think I threw up in my mouth or something. Yeah, so then now we're making our way up on the 401. Took a stop there, saw a plane come in. That was nice. Went under the 401 highway, which again, did not think we could do. And now we're heading down towards Matheson. Matheson. So this is the Etobicoke Creek Trail, and it actually goes all the way down to Lake Ontario with a bare little bit there where it breaks up, but we just parked off of Sismot, a little south of Matheson. There's the car. Next day. That's the first time having Egg Smart basically since October.
Now do you believe it?
Yes.
Trudy didn't want to believe it was actually open. Of course, you can see the sign didn't say it was open
at
anyway.
the Egg Smart. So what do you say? It's the first time since what, September?
This is Rob Croxford, the man who painted our The Dude Abides picture, and we just bought something that I'm going to be putting up in my office, which is a Star Trek related item he did called To Boldly Go. Oh, this is while we were waiting for the vet to bring Liam back out. Weren't allowed to go in. I just realized this is like a slideshow. This is horrible. I can't be doing this on a regular basis.
Where are we now, Trude?
We're at the vet's.
Why are we at the vet's?
For Liam's annual checkup.
So the nervous cat is inside there with strangers?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to go well. Yeah.
It actually did. But when we get him home, right? So we just come out of the elevator. We got about 100 meters before we get to the apartment door. He knows exactly where it is because we let him out in the hallway to explore. So this is always fun. Boom, he's gone. No hesitation. Not a moment hesitation. He's already at our front door. I love doing this. This is so much fun to me. He's way down there. He's already knocking. He thinks somebody's going to let him in.
You want to take the key?
Okay, thanks. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting there.
He's scratching at the door.
Yeah,
Let me in.
Liam, hang on. You gotta get it now. We're gonna get it right now. Here we go. There we go.
Right to the closet.
And that's why we don't have to worry about him ever running away.
And I made tacos. I've actually shot a whole video cooking segment on how I make tacos. I have not edited that. I don't have the time. So, yeah, rather than repeat the whole thing, I just put it on time lapse and got it over with in about 30 seconds or so.
Market dude. We are on vacation.
Yeah, we've been on vacation for 4 days. So this is the 7-Eleven up in Orangeville. It's always one of the stops we have. There used to be a point where only 7-Elevens had that kind of shelf space for beverages. If you went into like a Max 30 years ago, they had a cooler. So this is without going onto the beach at Kincardine. We just sat on a bench and looked at the grassy dunes. There's a tiny bit of Lake Huron in between.
It's a lawyer's beach because you have to pass the bar to get to it.
Tacho.
Boom chick.
Trudy goes under the bar. I fancy myself a lawyer, so I go over. And I have dangly bits that sometimes get caught when I go over. Glad I could share that with you.
Picture?
Yep.
I can't remember what this place was called. It was good steak, though.
Lily Tomlin, eat your heart out.
Yeah, what was that?
Do you stand it?
Tartan Tusk restaurant.
The hotel breakfast. Where you stood in line and then you pointed to what you wanted and they loaded it up on a tray and then you took it back to your room. To be honest, I actually prefer this.
That's me hamming it up. In case you were curious. I brought the Osmo. Did I use it? No. Hey, there is a point where I had like dueling cameras going. Trudy went wandering off. She decided to explore the entire beach. At some point even walked past. I don't think she noticed me, and it's entirely possible I picked her up on video and didn't notice her. But at this point, it's like 11 in the morning and we're the only ones here. And I'm just goofing around with
Yeah, so this
camera.
was a test with the Bluetooth controller for the selfie stick cam. Because that's what I'm using, is the selfie stick. We know that because my arms aren't long enough for that shot. Nor are they long enough for that shot.
I spent an amazing amount of time trying
I'm
not
here
to move.
trying to do nothing.
Yep.
This is hard work for me. I am not a do-nothing kind of person. Ugh. Anyway. And speaking of doing nothing, Trudy, we're here largely so Trudy can get the beach. And she is getting the beach. In that she has gone off to get the beach somewhere. I don't know. She's exploring the beach. She's walking the beach. The sun is out, and I don't do that, which is why I'm under an umbrella and a shade cover on this chair. This is more than enough for me. Heck, I don't even have my shoes off. Because what if there's an emergency and I have to run away? I'm not going to run on that stuff. That's crap. And it's warming up. It's hot crap. Hot crap. It's lava. The floor is lava. Ah, the floor is lava. Anyway, I've almost wasted 2 minutes of this just yammering. Well, the nice thing is with the Bluetooth controller, I can just shut it off. Like that. Okay, I didn't really plan to shut it off like that. I was just snapping my fingers. I thought maybe George Clooney would appear. That's a later this week joke. Clooney claps his hands, apparently Kermit appears. That's also a later this week joke. Yeah. Yeah. It's not quite seated. See, the problem with not having a script when you turn on a camera is you just end up having a whole lot of crap to edit.
I'm not doing that. That's why this is raw.
Look, it's like a 360 camera, except cheap and on my phone.
Boredom is a horrible thing.
It's pretty empty sky though, eh? Here, you want to see the video of a mime on a beach going downstairs?
This did not work.
And then a mime on an elevator.
See, this did really not work.
None of that was worth the memory card it took up.
Yeah.
So now we have dueling cameras. Come on, Osmo. Let's go steady. There we go. Very fluid, but it does have a propensity to lean to the right. I could insert a joke about that. I'm not going to. And then... Oh, can I get it to follow? Let's see if I can get it to follow. Will you follow? No, you're not even looking. Hey! Buddy! Eyes are up here.
It was looking at my boobs.
There we go. Eyes are up here.
I don't even know that... Oh, the microphone does work. I hadn't noticed the bar moving. If I go deep enough, I sound like Archer narrating this. No, I don't.
Now we're going to try this, but you see, I've got the Osmo set to follow, so I don't know if it's following because I'm not actually looking at it. And judging by it, it wasn't following. You're not following. Hey, I'm over here. Still over here. Maybe you should be on. I should have brought Rick's. I would have had to have added the ball gimbal to it. I have one of. I have a couple of those, in fact. Right. So what's the point of all this? Well, there isn't really one. I'm just goofing around with cameras. Video cameras while I'm sitting here on a beach. Because life is a beach. Yeah, so this week I thought I would do a thing called This Week in Gary History, where I take a bunch of stuff that I have photographed and video shot from the week and then turn it into a video. Kind of a vlog, but just more of a summary. I think that's what I want. Just a summary.
It's not a summary. Just a raw dump of video.
Yeah.
So you can suffer.
So I'll have to basically watch what it is I put together and then come up with some sort of narrative for it. Otherwise, it's just going to be bouncing back and forth between camera angles and still pictures without context. What do you think of that?
There's Trudy going for, I want to say a dip? Yeah, this was the dip. This is when she went for the dip. But at first she just stood there. The water was apparently bracing it, and I say apparently because, of course, I didn't go anywhere near it. napped on a beach for 7 hours, trying to move as little as possible. And I was successful. That guy in the chair in front, we see the back of his head, it was like Stan Lee had been resurrected from the dead and then beef jerkied with too much sunshine. And I swear to God, if that ever happens to me, somebody just smother me with a pillow. So there's, every time Trudy floated, yeah, see, Stanley. Every time Trudy floated, she just shot down like 3 or 4 body lengths. If she's floating, if you see her going to the right, that's because the current was just that strong. Was that a giant Oreo? I think a giant Oreo just went by. Look, she's not swimming that direction. That's the current pushing her there. It seems like you were actually a bit worried about it while you were out there.
About the undertow?
No, about you losing your top.
Oh, yeah.
So what's your wave report there, kid?
Oh, it's great.
Temperature good?
It's cold, but it's refreshing. And you get used to it pretty quick.
It seemed like it was pushing you down.
Yeah.
Nice breeze. That made it tolerable. That was nice. In fact, there was a certain point where I was actually getting a little cold. You know, when I had the umbrella covering me to keep the sun from hitting me. Trudy likes to go to sunny places wearing her ocular rift. Suck it, London.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so we asked the hotel where was the best pizza in town, and they told us to leave town. So we did. So up at a little place called Tiverton, which is up towards Port Elgin on Highway 21, is this place called Pat's Pizza. It's right at the corner. So we got there a little bit early, wandered through this little park.
Isn't that nice? Little park.
Could have eaten there too, because I mean the 2 little tables were nice. Then we got the pizza and we drove back to the hotel and ate it. And it was a massive pizza, but oh my goodness, that was tasty. And then the next morning, we left the hotel. This is us leaving the hotel. You're supposed to dump your used towels in that thing, but not garbage. The sign was very clear about that. So there you go. Little reminder.
Can you tell you're traveling during COVID? Hot tub's open.
Unique moment in history. We hope.
It's priorities.
Who knows? Like a decade from now, we'll look at this and go, "Oh yeah, good Lord, I remember that. That was horrible." Or, "Man, wish things were like that again." Because look, there were hardly anybody there. Oh no, this wasn't us leaving. This was us getting breakfast on the second morning.
Minus rice biscuits and cornflakes. I'm gonna carry in this dish and I'll be right back.
I'll never understand people that leave their hotel room in their pajamas. This is the river. The town of Kincardine was originally named after this river. It's one of those lengthy indigenous names that has a lot of pena and a nina and a baga and a stuff in it, and it winds out just before it leaves and joins Lake Huron. And this is the overlook that apparently this area is a great place to go to see the sunset. You've never seen a sunset. Pretty sure if you have seen one, you've seen them all. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff without a selfie stick.